series of seminars that organised trying to figure out the problem of Australian music. And so he'd get back and everyone is talking about Australian music. What happened? And so suddenly I think he was acutely aware of this new phenomenon.
Played. He discovered is less and less played, and I think this is more Australia than just the standard thing of the composer's work being forgotten shortly after they die, and then you wait for some sort of revival, because even in their lifetimes, their older pieces were performed, and there's a sense in your work that nothing had happened before 1960, that, you know, Margaret Sutherland and Roy Agnew and John Ansell and other figures who had in fact been novelists in their way didn't really exist, that it was all tabula rasa in about 1963.
Yeah, and you know, the idea is, well, if Australia doesn't have a history, then it's destined to repeat these ideas over and over and over again and never acknowledge these histories. And I mean, the composers weren't writing about, they knew these composers. David Lumsden had a reference for John Ansell when he went to the UK. These people know each other, they're working with each other. So there are personal connections there. And then you look through the concert programs and you think, well, there really weren't so many performances. Just like, as you say, how many performances now are there of Richard Neal, even a piece like Coruscation, incredible Floridians that were as successful as any of the pieces from the time were. They're rarely played.
We're going to finish by listening to the end of Coruscations. Neal is definitely in the cosmopolitan modernism camp of your original three categories, but not solely. He's very concerned with light in a way that I suspect only an Australian composer could be.
Yes, and I think it's tempting to repeat the idea that people had at the time that Peter Sculthorpe and Richard Neal were two kind of poles of Australian music, and one is inward-looking and nationalist, the other is cosmopolitan and outward. Neal of the night, Sculthorpe of the day. And, I think there's something to that, and, you look through the piece titles and you think, oh, well, I kind of see how that works. At the same time, I think Richard Neal was really serious about being cosmopolitan, and one of the points I make is that he worked for a record shop and he had access to LPs that other people didn't. And we know from correspondence that is in the National Library, people writing to him saying, thank you for selling me all these LPs of European music that I couldn't get anywhere else. So he is well connected.
And he had actually spent much more of his life in Australia than Sculthorpe did, who was a big traveller.
Right. I mean, and Neal travelled early to the west coast of the US and also to Southeast Asia in the 1960s. But as you say, he was mostly in Sydney and Adelaide.
There you go. Tell us something about the